So, I have got a new set of irons, and it's not what you'd expect. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, you join me at Custom Golf Works for a very fun video. So, I'm building my bag, trying to build my bag for 2024, and I've got a brand spanking new set of irons that are quite different. Here at Custom Golf Works, Mark has built them up for me, and we're going to go over to Mark in a second and talk about why I've chosen what I've done and what differences they might be. But I'm going to give you a bit of spoiler, because for the heads, I've gone for what I think is the best player's distance iron, yes, distance, for 2024, which is the Mizuno Pro 243. You may be thinking, Alex, you have some big muscles. Why on earth would you go for the Mizuno Pro 243? Well, the shaft and the grip is the reason why, as they are very different. And as you can see by the title of this video, well, they're graphite shafts, something that you wouldn't expect from me or a lot of amateur golfers, but I'm very, very excited to try them out. The grips as well, I'm not so sure. But Mark is going to talk to you guys about the grips, the shafts, and why I've chosen them. So let's go over to the workshop at Custom Golf Works now and see what they are. Right, the cat's out the bag. I've got a Fujikura Axiom 105X shaft in my iron, as well as a rather large JumboMax grip, Mark. Have you seen this setup before?
Honestly, no.
I'm not surprised.
I think we've definitely gone for possibly the most stable shaft available and grip combo at the same time.
Have I made the right decision with Axiom then? What is about these shafts? Obviously they're a little bit lighter. But
Yeah, a little bit lighter, but it's the first shaft that's introduced their Velocore technology. So again, it's a graphite shaft for, amazing feel, and then the stability you get from Velocore's amazing. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great combo.
With graphite shafts, I think a lot of people watching, myself included, I think there's a stigma against it that they might perhaps be for old folks and people like that. Can you tell me that I'm wrong or that I'm right?
I think I think that stigma's disappearing. I was reminded earlier today that Dustin Johnson's using this shaft. So
absolutely.
When you look at Bryson into graphite, there's so many good things about the tech, and I think it's probably going to be the way to go in the future. Yeah.
So stability is a word that you mentioned there. Do you think that will lead to me just being more consistent with my irons? Because I think I struggle, because there's two parts with double-sided miss, which could be a swing fault. But I think my hands are quite quick as well, and I think I sometimes just struggle consistently throughout a round to just hit the middle of the club face type thing. Do you think the Velocore tech piled on with also the JumboMax grip will lead me to just being a better golfer? Do you think I'm kind of in this honeymoon period that I'm just wishing to get down to scratch rather than actually practicing to get to scratch?
It's always a chicken and egg scenario.
Sure.
Once you get, you need stability in terms of the way you load and unload shaft.
Yeah.
So historically, you would have gone into something really, really heavy, stable steel.
Yeah.
And I think just the new technology that's available now, you can get those same parameters in a graphite.
Sure.
And obviously, there's tons of information about dampening vibration, which you don't get with steel. So nice. I think it opens up graphite to a whole new audience.
Sure. I wouldn't think, so I've got some tennis elbow issues as well. People have said, I think, well, big grips and also graphite shafts would probably be better for in terms of my consistency of not being in pain, which I think is quite a good thing. Talk to me about the build of these as well, because I think when we were here earlier, there was quite an interesting process. It wasn't just kind of plug and play.
No, it was, I think probably the grip is the biggest factor in terms of the, governing the build. Yeah. Historically, a tall velvet grip weighs just over 50 grams. These are in at 98 grams.
Wow, okay.
So even though we're looking at a grip that is, almost double the weight of a normal grip, you're adding 50 grams to the dead weight of the club.
Right.
They make the swing weight much, much lighter.
Okay.
So again, it's a new combo. So what I would say is, even though these are a lighter swing weight than you're used to,
yes,
the dead weight is heavier. So I think we got to have a little play first to make sure you don't get them on the golf course and they feel too light.
Right. Okay.
So again, whenever you're using different and stable products like this, you run into bumps like that. Yeah. So all I would say is, even though the swing weight is a little bit lighter than you're currently gaming, when you hit them, you flush them. Yeah. And as you said, you're hitting them in the middle of the face. So, in my mind, even though you're heavier at this end, you're not losing any club head feel.
Right.
So I think that's something we'll keep an eye on it, and if we
Yeah.
need to change it, we can always increase weight.
You said it was at C7 was the swing weight?
So with a normal grip on this club, because you're half inch over,
Yeah.
with a normal tour velvet, you came in at D6,
Right.
and with this build at the moment, even though, as I said, we're 50 grams heavier,
Yeah.
swing weighting at C7, which sounds really light.
It does indeed.
But the ball data suggests no problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was kind of worried. I hit these over in America for the first time, the actual Axiom shafts, the PGA show, and I didn't expect to go into the 105X to begin with, but I've heard some stuff online that even people who swing it quite fast should try it out, and I was amazed. As you said, trigger word for this video is stability. I was kind of hitting smoothies with a 7-iron, 98 mile an hour club head speed type thing. I thought I was hitting it like 80%. If I can do that consistently without in a round, when it's also really warm and I'm not fit as it is, that's quite an important thing for me. So, I mean, I was worried about the spin as well, but the shafts being a little bit lighter, but I went for the 243s, 2 degrees stronger than the usual, T100 and things like that. We've seen already, I have hit the 7-iron over at the quad over there. Let's go now and hit the 6-iron and a few more clubs and see if I can, find the middle of the club face consistently.
No problem.
Let's see. Time to take off the wrapper. That was easy. Okay, so I've got a 6-iron first. I'm going to hit 6-iron, pitching wedge, and 4-iron. Don't know why I'm doing it in that order, but I've already hit the 7-iron, and it feels very stable. We're using this word a lot throughout this video. Got it up on the GC quad. I'm going to show you guys the numbers as well. It's kind of like a 3-parter. I'm reviewing the best players distance line in 2024, Fujikura Axiom, which is the main part of this video, and also some big boy grips. Let's give it a go. So, smooth draw, 6-iron. That was absolutely pumps. Thanks for watching. Jesus Christ. That was a 6-iron. I think, so we're looking at some slightly low spin here, but what I will say is, when we go on the course, I'll show you the difference, because I always get slightly lower spin when I'm inside. 4,000 is going to be too low for me. I need it to be about 5,500. But when I'm outside, it climbs up a lot more. So when I had my T100 Titleist irons, they were actually about 4,800 for a 7-iron. So this is pretty optimal, and you can see it's launching at a perfect number 2. It feels, Mizuno 243s themselves feel very buttery. I'm not surprised by that. Mizuno, I think, are the best irons in the game in terms of the brand itself. What I think is funny with this is we've got heavy weight here, a heavy weight here. It's what Mark said before. I don't think with that and that, I could use an 105X in steel. It would not be stable at all. I'd be hitting it all over the place. You can see right there, it looks like I'm going to be hitting, touch wood, more consistent straight shots. Famous last words. Mishit it slightly. Mishit it slightly. Slightly down the face. And I'm assuming you can probably hear that. Just like, can't really see it, but literally just there. But that's still gone 217 yards. Numbers are good. Numbers are really good. I think what will be interesting with this setup being slightly different is the non-stereotypical club. So like a 4-iron and a pitching wedge. That's where I'm going to find probably the grip the hardest, but we'll find out. I will say I've put these grips, JumboMax, on every single club in my bag, from lob wedge, well not putter, but from lob wedge to driver. They are going to be on all my clubs for the next 6 months. Make or break my career at GolfMagic. I think that was good. Look at that, a little bit low spin, a little bit high on the face, but I mean, I think one thing that we're seeing so far is like stability. I wouldn't say they were my best swings in the world, but from 215 yards out, I've got 2 birdie putts within like 10 foot, and the other one is still on the green. 4-iron is a different story. 4-iron here, if you don't like the video for that noise, well, click on something else, watch Fortnite. So, one thing I will say about the 243s is, despite being in the middle section of, between the 241s and 245s, down at address, me and Johnny, who's actually behind Will right now, say hello. So, they are quite a small heel to toe length. They are a small club, but I think they offer quite a lot of forgiveness. I thought I would look at these and they'd be a little bit too chunky, like, I mean, you've played P790s, haven't you? Yeah. They're a little bit too big. These are actually very similar to my T100s, so it's not that big of a changeover. Do I put the 4 on a T? Nah. No? No. All right. Let's see how it feels. A little clean. Little clean. It's hit the fairway though. Would you rate that out of 10 for a, yeah, would you rate that out of 10 for a slappy shot? Like, we're getting like a 6, yeah. That's a bad shot, and I think what's good in this video is, like, I want forgiveness, I want stability. From 245 yards out, if you're thinking of a tour pro, they're happy if they hit the green. So I'm not too disheartened by that, and I think what I've done here is, by adding the 243s, which offer a little bit more forgiveness than my MBs and T100s, despite being quite a compact head, it's almost like a bit of a cheat code. What I will say is this 4-iron, actually, though, down at address, you have got some baggage behind it, despite being a thin top line, which is fine. I've got a lot of baggage. Just so nice. Yeah, that was slapped. Yeah, 230-ish carry, 250 rollout. I'll 3-putt from there and cry. Beers on me. So yeah, there's nothing. I think I can get the ball to be a little bit higher. I would put it on a tee, but we're going to do that actually over at Fox Hills when I do a closer to the pin challenge. But this would be a fairway finder for me. This 4-iron is something that I would use, to hit that par 5 and 2, and also to get it down the middle of the fairway. And that bit of extra distance as well means I can probably take out my 2-iron too and put in a mini driver. Another one that's just drifting a little bit, but I'm going to find the fairway. Again, 238 carry, 250. So far for the long irons, up to 4-iron and 6-iron, I found that these are incredibly consistent and, yes, I'm going to use the word again, stable. But now let's hit a pitching wedge, because we're going really other side of the spectrum here, and see how the grip feels and how this feels. Because I'm kind of going at them there, I'm trying to hit the fairway. Now for accuracy, this is a bit more important. Okay, so my pitching wedge beforehand goes about 145. I'm noticing about a 6-yard increase in distance because these lofts are 2 degrees stronger, but also a slightly higher launch. Now, this shot, I obviously want to be close to the pin. What I will say is, it does have a slightly different profile, this pitching wedge to my T100 down at address. With a bigger grip as well, am I going to start hitting fades? Might really hurt my thumb. That was pretty rubbish. That was, I think, probably the worst shot I could hit with this club.
Yeah, you bought yourself a loser, Alex.
No, did you hit? No, that would have been, look at the spin.
Did you bat it slightly?
Yeah, I got away with that one a little bit. That felt nice. Quite clippy. But you see what I'm doing now? I don't know if it's just me. Looks like I'm hitting a little bit right. With just overall. Now I think that'll be with the grips, because big grips, you're going to really struggle to release the club. And my miss is actually to the right usually, so this could be a little bit counterproductive putting big grips in there, but they do feel very consistent. I'm doing that. I've got misses left and right, which is fine. That was lovely, but I've blocked it again, haven't I? Okay. I pured it, but I've missed the green. How weird. How weird that I'm hitting my the longer irons better than the shorter irons. Well, not weird. Okay, one more. That was nice, but I think I'm feeling like I'm blocking it. Yeah, look at that. I think I'm struggling to release it with the shorter irons. I thought it would be the other way around, but what I will say is they're good numbers. I'm hitting 150 now with the pitching wedge. This is going to take a lot to get used to. I think that absolutely fine. Very easy. I can plug and play with this. I think this alongside the grips. Looks like the shorter irons will be a little bit, there'll be some teething periods. So I'm going to show you a teething period right now. We're going to go to Fox Hills. I don't know what club I'm going to hit, but we're going to do a par 3 challenge and see what my consistency is like and see if this is the most stable iron I've ever played. Right, here we are at Fox Hills, Bernard Hunt course 11th hole, about 161 yards. It's actually been about 5 or 6 days since the custom GolfWorks testing. I managed to play a few rounds with these clubs, and there's some good, but there's some bad. Let's hit some balls. The good is this and this. These feel very stable, very secure. I've noticed that I'm gained about 8 yards for my total carry for all of my clubs, which is also a very good thing because it feels very consistent. I've got a 9-iron here. Let's give a few of these a go and talk about some more of the good and the bad. Poor strike, but with the 243s, I think that's about 15 foot away actually. You heard the strike there, a little bit clean. I haven't actually hit a shot today with these irons, but I'm able to manage stability and forgiveness with these bits. Now, the grip is the one problem that I've had so far, and it's mainly actually for those shorter irons. So for the 9-iron, the pitching wedge, actually going into my scoring clubs, gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge as well. Oh. I'm really struggling with finding the sweet spot with these, and now it's definitely, Jesus Christ, it's definitely a pilot error in some regards, but the club face feels somewhat alien. Now, we're leaving that in because we're GolfMagic and it's raw content. I play a 5, I still hit shots. But for those chip shots around the green, I've really had a problem with just managing to hit flop shots and actually just make solid contact, which is quite embarrassing. Just like that. And you can see here, I've hit 3 shots so far. It's absolutely fine. It's about 15 foot away. But by the sound and the reaction of the Mizuno Pro 243s, I'm not hitting them out in the middle. So there is a bit of a red flag that's going on here. Fitter would show the same in that I'm not hitting the middle of the club face. Something might have to change. Now, is it a swing fault? That was lovely. Is it a swing fault? Yeah, perhaps. I personally don't think it is. I think it's in part of having slightly lighter shafts with a different bend profile leads to my subconscious swing feeling a little bit different than before. Because now I usually know where the club head is. It's actually in a different position to what it usually is. It's really nice again. You can see now I'm actually getting the hang of it a little bit better. Yeah, on the green. But the main thing that I think I'm going to say in this video, my problems so far, well, just needs a bit more practice, because this isn't just like going from a Callaway iron to a tailor-made iron. This is like going from playing tennis to playing football. Is pretty good results. Another one, pretty much pin high. We've got 1 shot left. And what we can see here, once I'm getting the hang of it, the consistency is there. But a graphite shaft, in terms of the profile, feels a lot different. Shot of the day. Yeah, some good shots, but they started with some bad shots. Let's go have a look at them. I tell you what, apart from this one here, which we all saw was rather poor, this collection of shots that I've just hit, probably the best I've ever done from a dispersion point of view. It was 168 yards to the back pin. Now, I think that's down to the trifecta of my new irons. The Mizuno Pro 243 provides a very compact head with a lot of forgiveness. I think we saw the first 2 shots there. I believe it's that one there and that one there. Slightly thin. Not the best strike in the world yet. I've still got a 35-foot birdie putt, which is very good. Now, the stability that I think comes with all these balls here being very close together is from Fujikura Axiom, which is actually probably my favorite part of this video. They are very different, they are very new. 105X, I don't think anyone would expect me to try that, but they've added a bit of stability. But with stability comes a little bit of change. The overall shaft profile does feel a little bit odd, and that combined with the JumboMax grips, it will take a bit to get used to. I think I was a little bit naive in thinking I could just plug and play and become a better golfer. I'll be honest, I've hit some stinkers over the last 2 weeks. I've hit some chip shots and whatnot that I would never have done before, but I've also seen glimmers of what it could be. So I'm gonna use these irons, and I'm also gonna use the grips for the next 6 months and see if I can get down to scratch. So stay tuned for my video in 6 months' time. Guys, let me know what you thought of this video today. I really enjoyed talking to Mark over at Custom Golf Works. Their link is in the description, and I loved using Fox Hills to try and get a hole-in-one. Fujikura Axiom, JumboMax grips, and Mizuno Pro 243, an absolute demon combination. Hopefully it's gonna help me break par this year. Let me know what you think, and if you are new to GolfMagic, well, hit that subscribe button too to keep up to date with all our videos and my progress video in 6 months' time. Till the next video, guys, well, I'll catch you later.